We certainly hope that we can keep this weather for quite some time. I doubt it, but we'll hold on to the moment. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Natasha Brown.
And I'm Theophilus. We are streaming here on CBS News Philadelphia. Let's take a look outside right now. This is the inlet in Atlantic City. A short while ago, we saw some people fishing off the jetty. It is not quite a beach day, but not a bad day to be down the shore at all. We have live team coverage of what has been a spectacular weather day. Eva Anderson is discussing planting in Havertown, but we begin with meteorologist Grant Gilmore back out on the sky deck, once again enjoying springtime Philly.
Sky deck is the best place to be, Siafa. On a beautiful day outside, really anywhere is the best place to be. Officially the hottest day of the year so far. Let's talk temperatures here because that's what we're all enjoying when you're outside. These warmer temperatures here in the middle and upper 70s. We hit 79 degrees out there this afternoon. The warmest we've been so far this year was 77 degrees back on March 14th. Again, the warmest that we've been since last year, October 28th, when we had a high temperature of 83 degrees. So all this warm weather, you're probably thinking, let's get out and plant some stuff, right? Well, you might be okay. The earliest time that we've seen our last freeze was March 8th, and that was in 2020. The latest last freeze, all right? So the latest that we've seen freezing temperatures in springtime was May 11th, back in 1966. It's been a while since we've seen freezing temperatures later than today's date. Really, March 30th is the average last freeze. So you might be thinking, all right, let's get outside, enjoy more of this warmth. The last 5 years, we have seen freezing temperatures there in April 18th, in fact, back in 2022. Currently, temperatures are at 77 degrees in Philadelphia, 78 degrees in Reading. Man, it's a fantastic start to our afternoon and evening hours. Temperatures will gradually cool out of the 70s. We will eventually return to the 60s. In fact, we'll bottom out in the middle and upper 50s come tomorrow morning, but we'll have to start talking about the return of the chance of rain. But the warm weather today definitely inspired a lot of you to get out and search out some of those area nurseries and get that green thumb to work, or maybe you just took the opportunity to soak in some of this warmth and vitamin D. Here's our Eva Anderson.
Here at Taddeo's in Havertown, they opened for the season in early March. Now they're anticipating a big spike in business due to this gorgeous weather. At Taddeo's greenhouse in Havertown.
How you doing? Good to see you.
Owner Mike Taddeo couldn't ask for a better day.
It's hard not to be in a wonderful mood. The sun's out. It stopped raining finally.
He monitors the weather closely.
It's been very wet for the last several months. It's been a wet fall, wet winter, and wet spring, so that does impact both business and the plants. A lot of people, you know, their mood is really down when it's raining, but everybody comes out when the sun's out and about.
Including Susan and Richard Huffman, who came from Center City.
They don't know how much we're going to buy. We're going to
buy a lot.
Do a lot.
We're going to buy a lot.
They're stocking up on flowers and herbs and remaining hopeful.
We're hopeful that we're past any kind of freeze.
They're not the only ones feeling spring fever or maybe summer fever.
I'm like sweating. I'm breaking a sweat, so it definitely feels like a summer day.
Jenica Cuoco was one of dozens of college students sunbathing in Drexel Park, even if for some, a golden glow isn't in the cards.
With my Irish skin, I don't really tan, but I love to try at all times.
As the park goers and planters bask in the sun's rays, they know rain could make a comeback.
Hopefully the worst of the rain is behind us.
But at least on this day, their moods will stay in full bloom.
Happy planting.
Eva Anderson, CBS News Philadelphia.
Well, again, let's just enjoy today because, as Grant mentioned, the weather gets unsettled for a bit for much of the rest of the week. You can always check the forecast and head to our website, cbsphiladelphia.com/weather. Now, some Aramark workers are on strike, and it could impact fans going to tonight's Sixers game. Unionized cooks, servers, bartenders, and concession workers will not work at Wells Fargo Center tonight. They are demanding better pay and health benefits. The striking workers are asking fans attending tonight's game not to order food and drinks in solidarity with their cause. In a statement, Aramark says it has, quote, contingency plans in place to ensure services are not interrupted and that the fan experience remains strong. The company says it remains committed to bargaining in good faith to reach a settlement that works for all parties. Well, first it was Jason Kelsey, and now another longtime and beloved Eagle has officially retired.
Yeah, defensive tackle Fletcher Cox held his official retirement press conference today. Alicia Roberts is in for Don Bell and shares what Fletch had to say.
Yeah, you know, guys, today was a bit of a sad day, and it wasn't the epic speech we saw from Jason Kelsey, but perhaps this was as on brand as you could possibly get for Fletcher Cox. Honest, from the heart, no nonsense, exactly how he played every single game. Our Pat Gallen has more.
Come humble and ready to work, because it's not easy here.
In Philadelphia, fans expect the players of their favorite teams to work hard and leave it all out on the field. And after 12 seasons of doing just that, Fletcher Cox has officially retired from the NFL.
This decision was not easy. And I knew at some point in my career it was time for me to retire from the NFL. Is obviously the reason that I'm here today. You know, it comes with a lot of emotions.
Perhaps it was not an easy decision because Cox was still playing at a high level and staying healthy. Over his 12 years with the Eagles, he missed just 6 regular season games.
This game is mentally and physically can take a toll on you. And, you know, I've enjoyed it at the highest level. I've been at the highest levels, and at that point, I felt like that I've gave this game all I could give.
Cox finishes his Eagles career as a 6-time Pro Bowler and 1-time All-Pro. He totaled 70 sacks over 188 games and won a Super Bowl. Is that enough to make the Hall of Fame?
I got to get in the Eagles Hall of Fame first, so that might help me. But obviously, yeah, that's something I think about. You know, apparently, you know, it's all in everybody else's hands right now. But you know, hopefully, you know, one day, you know, a few years from now is putting on the gold jacket, and I'll be looking forward to it.
And after a stellar career that could end up with a spot in Canton, how does Fletch want to be remembered?
Man, when people look back at my career, you know, the biggest thing is I want them to look at the way that I played the game, the honest way I played the game, the way I went out, the way that, you know, they looked at my leadership, and that's what I want to be looked at as.
Pat Gallen, CBS Sports, Philadelphia.
Don't you just love him? It is going to be so hard to picture that first game without Fletch on the field. Guys, tremendous holes to fill with both him and Kelsey gone for next season. And Fletch had a lot to say as well, too. By the way, he was asked who's going to keep BG, Brandon Graham, in line next year. Big Dom. He's like, Big Dom's got a big task to fill on that one there. Fletcher certainly a leader on that side of the ball and for the entire team in the locker room.
Yeah, he's going to be missed. Thank you so much, Alicia.
Thank you so much, Alicia. A man was shot to death inside of a store in Kensington this morning. The shooting occurred just before 9:30 inside a store on the 2800 block of Kensington Avenue. Police say the victim was shot several times and died at a local hospital. They add that an individual has been taken into custody. We're working to learn more about the victim as well as a motive for the shooting.
Well, the man who was stabbed in the neck and then run over by a car last night under I-95 in South Philly has been identified as 22-year-old Meng Sang. This incident happened just after 7:30 on Front and Morris Street. Police say it all started with a fight. Now, Sang was knocked down. Police say that's when the other man jumped into a car and ran over him. No word what started the fight. Neighbors in Pennsport say they were shocked to hear something like this happen so close to home, but they do say there has been a growing number of problems under 95.
They have been dealing drugs, handshake drugs, down at that corner. Still doing it. I had somebody drop needles, I don't know, maybe 100 needles outside my property.
When the sun goes down, they won't even go to these shopping malls. I don't even know how to survive. Most of them are closing.
Well, Philadelphia police recovered a knife where the attack happened. So far, no arrests have been made and no motive has been released.
Well, still to come on CBS News Philadelphia, Mayor Sherrell Parker marks 100 days in office this week.
I had a chance to go into the mayor's office, sit in the chair. I cried because I was a product of very humble beginnings.
CBS Philadelphia Mornings anchor Janelle Burrell sits down with the mayor for a rare one-on-one conversation. The mayor gets personal about her journey to chief executive, her top priority, and her promise to everyone living in the city.
Many of us probably have a couple of these lying around after yesterday's eclipse. Coming up, how one local South Philly shop is asking to collect your eclipse glasses so they could be reused.
And it's an entrance that won't soon be forgotten for a couple of reasons. We're going to introduce you to a baby born during yesterday's eclipse. We're back in a moment.
Heart, hustle, home. CBS News Philadelphia. We know this community by heart. CBS News Philadelphia.
New at 4, Arizona is now the latest abortion battleground state, with its Supreme Court reviving an 1864 law which criminalizes almost all abortions earlier today. Reproductive rights advocates are pushing to get a measure protecting abortion access on the ballot this November, with issues central to the upcoming presidential election. Danya Bacchus reports from Los Angeles.
Arizona State Supreme Court turned back the clock Tuesday, ruling the state can enforce a law criminalizing abortions, except those to save a mother's life. That law was passed before Arizona was even a state and before women had the right to vote. Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs.
I refuse to allow extremist county prosecutors to use this abortion ban to lock up women and doctors seeking or providing needed health care.
The ban takes effect in 14 days. Abortion rights advocates have been collecting signatures for a ballot measure this fall.
In November, we'll make history when Arizona voters overwhelmingly vote to restore abortion rights and reproductive freedom.
The issue is already front and center in the upcoming presidential election.
The states will determine by vote or legislation or perhaps both, and whatever they decide must be the law.
Monday, presumptive GOP nominee Donald Trump announced he supports states' rights on the matter. Some conservatives have criticized the former president for stopping short of a national ban, but other Republicans back the move.
The fact of the matter is he knows, and I know, that it's consistent with the majority of the American people.
Democrats warn the GOP has a long game.
The Trump smokescreen simply is a disguise for a Republican strategy and plan to pass a national abortion ban.
The Biden campaign responded to Trump, releasing an ad about a Texas woman who made national headlines for being denied abortion services after a miscarriage. She says she may not be able to get pregnant again. Danya Bacchus, CBS News.
Our local primary elections aren't too far away at all. Pennsylvania's will be heard on April 23rd, a couple weeks away. New Jersey's is further out. That's June 4th. Delaware will not hold a presidential primary this year. You can get information on cbsphiladelphia.com/election.
Well, many of us looked like this yesterday, I'm certain. Eyes peeled to the sky with some special glasses, of course, to watch the eclipse. Now, don't toss out your eclipse glasses. Meantime, our Marcela Bayeto visited one South Philadelphia business that is hoping to collect your used glasses to help students for the next celestial event.
Old Eclipse glasses are getting a second chance at Goodbye Supply on East Passyunk Avenue.
I figured I have a space to collect them. I have a community that probably is looking for a place to drop them off, and why not do it?
Instead of the shades collecting dust or being thrown in our landfills, Emily Rodia, the owner of the Sustainable General Store, wanted to find a way to extend the use of them.
I didn't want to toss them away, so I found a company that's sending them to Latin America for their upcoming annular eclipse.
The shop will be collecting eclipse glasses all throughout the month of April, and once they have them, they'll then send it over to a company called Eclipse Glasses USA, who will then send them over to students in Latin America.
The lenses themselves are silver black polymer. Polymer is a plastic product, so it's not going to readily compost away.
Roger Sarkis says he expects to receive over 50,000 pairs. They'll be sent to kindergarten through 8th grade students in Chile and in Argentina. But he doesn't want it to stop there.
I would like to try and send some to Title I schools in Hawaii.
And if you can't drop them off at the store, Sarkis says you can also ship your ISO certified glasses directly to the company until August 1st. That's to ensure they make it in time for the eclipse in October.
You get to have the human experience, but then you get to enable someone else to have that experience.
Just gives so many more people the opportunity to see it.
An opportunity that's allowing a celestial event to be shared from one continent to another. In South Philadelphia, Marcela Bayeto, CBS News, Philadelphia.
I think that's a great cause. Now head on over to our website, cbsphiladelphia.com, for more information on how you can donate your eclipse glasses. Now, crowds all across North America gathered to marvel at the total solar eclipse yesterday. EarthCam captured the cosmic event from all over, with some places reaching total darkness. The sun appeared to vanish behind the moon for minutes at a time as the eclipse traveled along its path of totality. More than 31 million Americans live along that path, and many flew or possibly even drove to witness it in person. It's going to be decades before the next total solar eclipse appears in the U.S. again. Was it 2044, Grant?
Yeah.
It's going to be a long time, yeah.
Wow. But it'll be here before we know it.
Yeah, 20 years. Oh, boy.
Oh, it was so cool yesterday. Even here in Philadelphia, even though the clouds built in yesterday, there was still this weird darkness that came over with 90% of the sun being covered. We didn't see totality, and some of us didn't even see the eclipse, but it was still cool to witness. Now, I want to show you guys this because I think this is cool too. We've seen a lot of the video from the ground looking up. This is from about 22,000 miles above the Earth's surface, and what you're seeing there is the shadow of the eclipse tracking across North America. You see on the left side of the screen, tracking through Mexico right now, and that is totality. So that is the shadow of the eclipse moving from southwest to northeast across the United States yesterday. So this is one of our regular weather satellites that we use to look at clouds all the time. But it captured the eclipse yesterday. I think that was just really amazing. Isn't that cool?
That is amazing.
To see that?
Oh my gosh.
It's just, I mean.
It's stunning, yeah.
It is. And look, I'll wait another 20 years to do it all over again because it really is a sight to see. And if you have an opportunity to see it in person, do it. Go see it. Obviously, we have to wait for 20 years to do it here in the United States, but look, there's never too early to make a good plan, right? Oh, beautiful conditions out there. I mean, yesterday we had a little cloud cover. We had the solar eclipse. Today we've just got a lot of the sunshine. Temperatures right around 77 degrees. Look at this. Dew points in the upper 30s. That relative humidity is at 25%. This is what makes this time of the year so great. When you start getting the warmer temperatures, the humidity is still relatively low. It is very comfortable out across the entire area this evening. 74 in Trenton down the shore, a little cooler, still nice though, upper 60s to right around 70, 78 degrees in Reading. Look at this temperature change from this time yesterday. 10, 15, even close to 16 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. Just a few scattered high clouds streaming in from the south and west. And yes, that's in advance of our approaching system that will start to introduce the chance for a couple of showers. Cold front's well off to the west. It will slowly inch its way to the east. The main thing for now will be that continued southwesterly flow pumping in all the warmth from the south and west. Eventually, the moisture will return to our area, and that will result in some showers as we go, mainly overnight tonight and then possibly through the day tomorrow. I'll pause it here right around 7 o'clock in the morning. Notice one thing. Temperatures are in the mid-50s, relatively mild, but we will see a chance for a spotty shower. Not a guarantee by any stretch of the imagination, but you could get some rain here or there at times tomorrow. The better chance of rain will come Thursday night into Friday. Watch here. I've stopped it right here at Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Here comes that low pressure system. This is a massive low pressure system, but the storm system stays well out towards our west, but it will continue to feed in rounds of rain, with the heaviest of which coming through overnight Thursday into Friday morning. Heavy rain, gusty winds will be the primary concern here, but then as it clears out, we'll still see a few trailing showers into Friday, but into Saturday it will give us a cooler start to our weekend. But until then, temperatures remaining relatively mild, upper 60s to 70s with a chance of rain, 59 on Saturday, and then we're right back up to near 70 degrees with sunshine as we go into next week. Guys, back over to you.
All right.
Thank you so much. Still out here on CBS News Philadelphia, one of the hottest singer-songwriters is promising new music very soon.
And also straight ahead for you at 4.
If we don't know our history, we're doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past. It's so true.
Well, after decades of neglect, the Jewish cemetery in Lower Merion Township is being restored one gravestone at a time. And we're going to speak with a conservator as he works to keep the memories of the names on these grave sites alive.
Heart, hustle, home. CBS News Philadelphia. We know this community by heart. CBS News Philadelphia.
Here are your top 3 entertainment headlines today at 4. Queen Latifah is coming to Philly to host the first concert at the new Marian Anderson Hall, home of the Philadelphia Orchestra. The Great Stages Gala concert honoring Marian Anderson will be held on Saturday, June 8th.
And Billie Eilish is also releasing some new music. The Bad Guy singer announced on her Instagram page that her third studio album titled Hit Me Hard and Soft will drop on May 17th.
And the Academy of Country Music announced the nominations for the 59th awards ceremony, which will take place in May. Luke Combs led the nominations with 8. Megan Maroney and Morgan Whalen received 6 nods each. It is a special crossover event for the FBI franchise tonight.
Chantel Van Santen, who plays Special Agent Nina Chase, and John Boyd, who stars as Agent Scola, will be appearing together in FBI Most Wanted.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Look, I'm late for work and I can't find my shoes.
Okay.
Does Dougie really need all this stuff?
Don't be dramatic. I just rearranged.
Okay, but what about the closet in his room?
It's full.
Wow, this kid could equip an entire nursery school at this point. I'm going a little overboard with him.
Okay, well, I don't think I am.
Well, tonight, the agents find themselves disagreeing over their parenting styles, and I recently caught up with the actors for a preview.
Bring Scola over to Most Wanted to kind of bookend the episode and to get a little bit of a deeper look into Nina, who she is, their relationship, their home life. We finally get to see baby Dougie, which is really exciting, especially for me, because I was like, I wonder what our baby looks like. We haven't seen him since the finale of season 5. But, you know, we get to do that in this week's episode of Most Wanted, and to really just see how their relationship has evolved.
Yeah, and tell us a little bit about just, you know, what it's like working together on the set. I mean, it seems like you guys obviously have great chemistry, and how that works is in your favor.
Yeah, I mean, it was just so fun from the get-go. The minute Chantel set foot on our set and we started building this banter and relationship and the conflict, I mean, it was just so fun. The director would just say, okay, great, I'm just going to put you two in a shot like this and, you know, do your thing and find it. And they really gave us a chance to be who we are and find the little nuanced things and really make it honest and real. So it's been cool to get to do, you know.
Yeah.
Are you expecting more crossover episodes in the future?
Yes, I hope so. I mean, we'll see if people like this one, you know, maybe we'll get to do some more. That would be fun.
Yeah, I think that was really the draw for me to join this, you know, fugitive task force and to see Nina in action, but also to be able to do these mini crossovers and for fans to be able to see our shows linked up and the universes colliding, and that part is really fun.
Well, you can catch a new episode of FBI Most Wanted tonight at 10 on CBS Philadelphia.
Coming up in the next half hour, Mayor Cheryl Parker will mark her 100th day in office this week. CBS Philadelphia's Janelle Burrell sits down with the mayor for a rare one-on-one conversation. They discuss her journey to chief executive, her top priority as mayor, and her promise to everyone living in the city. It's a candid interview you do not want to miss.
And paving the way for a better community in Camden, the newly completed project that not only aimed at fixing a roadway, but also making the community a lot safer. Also ahead.
The 100th day of the year means it's a big birthday celebration here at the Philadelphia Protestant Home. Come with us as we celebrate.
Heart, hustle, home. CBS News Philadelphia. We know this community by heart. CBS News Philadelphia.
Welcome back to CBS News Philadelphia at 4. This is a live look down the shore where we've seen folks strolling the Washington Street Mall all afternoon long, even though it's not that busy right now. It is a little bit cooler along the coast, but the sun is shining, making for an absolutely gorgeous day just the same.
Meteorologist Grant Gilmore is outside enjoying the sunshine out there. Grant, we want all the positive vibes to stick around. No bad news.
Just skip it.
No pressure.
Deal. I'll save the bad news for about 15 minutes. We'll talk about the bad news a little bit later.
Okay.
But for now, we'll just all good vibes, all good news, because it's all good out here on the sky deck. The sun is shining. Temperatures are in the 70s. I'm not going to complain about a thing. High temperatures so far today. Have a look. Right around 79 degrees in Philadelphia. The last time that we were warmer than today was October 28th. You have to go back a ways when we had a high temperature around 83 degrees. So elsewhere around the area, we saw high temperatures generally there, low to middle 70s, but very, very nice out there. Temperatures running a good 10 to nearly 15 degrees warmer than normal today. We're still sitting on 77 degrees right now in Philadelphia, 75 degrees in Wilmington, Lehigh Valley. What is up? 78 degrees in Reading, 77 degrees in Allentown right now. Checking the satellite and radar. We won't talk about the bad news, but I'm going to show you what's coming up from the south and west. That's cloud cover and some showers. So yeah, we'll talk about the rain here in about 15 minutes or so. You see, there will be a building chance for some showers here coming up as we head overnight tonight into the day tomorrow. The rest of your evening, though, will be rain-free. That's the good news. Just some extra cloud cover begins to build in. Temperatures gradually cooling into the mid-50s to start off tomorrow morning, and then we'll see temperatures once again climb back into the upper 60s to lower 70s with a chance, it's a small chance for a couple of showers. Again, something that we do have to talk about. We'll talk about the rain, and we'll also talk about the pollen. Guys, the pollen on my car, just got it washed, and I'm going to have to hold off on washing it again because of that rain coming in. We'll talk about the pollen counts in just a bit.
Yeah, it's that time of year again. Thank you so much, Grant. We need to enjoy today because, as Grant just mentioned, the rain returns later this week. You can always check the forecast. Just head over to our website, cbsphiladelphia.com.
Well, this week, it marks the 100th day since Mayor Cherelle Parker took office in Philadelphia, her first 100 days being assessed. Ahead of marking this milestone, the mayor agreed to a rare one-on-one interview with CBS News Philadelphia. In part one of anchor Janelle Burrell's conversation with the mayor, she talks about her administration's top priority, also gets personal about the significance of making history.
So sometimes I see some tourists come and I'm walking in, I'm like, hey, how you all doing? Where you from? Is this your first time here? And they're like, only the mayor just interrupt our tour.
Madam Mayor is a title Cherelle Parker never imagined having.
When you were 17 years old, you gave a speech in this very building. Take me to that moment.
I was terrified. I had just won the Citywide Black History Month oratorical competition.
That speech as a high school student would be Cherelle Parker's first introduction to the world of Philadelphia politics and City Hall. 34 years later,
I feel a sense of urgency right now.
She's making history as Philadelphia's first female mayor.
After you were inaugurated, I can imagine what that feeling was like.
After we did our swearing in, and I had a chance to go into the mayor's office, sit in the chair, I cried because I was a product of very humble beginnings.
She was born to a single mother, raised by her grandparents in West Oak Lane, and Parker says it was the support of her family and mentors that helped her rise from city council intern to state representative, council member, and now mayor.
God placed those people in my life, Janelle, because according to statistics and stats, This is not an opportunity that's available for someone like me.
And she knows the many challenges she's inherited.
Bring order back and a sense of lawfulness.
On her first day in office, the mayor signed an executive order declaring a public safety emergency. She wants to hire more police officers, more community policing, and the controversial use of so-called Terry stops, which is the ability to detain people if there is reasonable suspicion of a crime.
Explain for people, because when they hear that terminology, they go back to, the negative image that people often have of police targeting minority communities. What exactly do you want police to do to deter the crime that we've seen in the city?
The first thing I want them to do is to know that we will have, in the Parker administration, zero tolerance for any misuse and or abuse of authority. I'm the mother of a black son. We've had the talk with Langston, and we'll continue to have the talk with him, because we know what it's like when that law was disproportionately weaponized.
But the mayor says police need to know she has their back.
I'm not going to take any tool out of the toolbox for our police officers, law enforcement officers, to enforce the law.
These young people who are responsible for a lot of these crimes, if you could talk to them right now, looking at them in the camera, what do you say to them?
That you matter, that we value you, that you can't make an excuse for taking a life. There is no just cause. But this is what we will do. We won't give up on trying. I'm not going to allow Philadelphians to live in fear.
Tomorrow, in part 2 of my conversation with the mayor, we talk about her approach to eliminating Kensington's open-air drug market. And then the mayor also gets candid about raising her young son while holding the city's highest office. You can see part 2 of our conversation tomorrow morning here on CBS News Philadelphia.
We will be watching. Well, leaders in the city have announced new programs to keep young people in the city engaged and out of trouble this summer. It's all part of the second annual It's a Summer Thing campaign.
We are excited to be able to offer thousands of amazing, safe, fun, and enriching summer opportunities. We have so many choices, from camps to pools with swim lessons.
An idle mind is the devil's workshop, right? And so I'm a neighborhood guy born and raised in South Philadelphia. And when I wasn't involved in something positive, you best believe me and my friends are going to be in your neighborhood doing something negative. But all of those types of programs helped me become the young man who I am today.
You can learn more about all the city is offering and will offer at cbsphiladelphia.com. Well, neighbors say 27th Street had been riddled with potholes for decades, but now the ride along this popular roadway in Camden is smooth as can be. The $10 million reconstruction project of 27th Street between Marlton Avenue and Federal Street is now complete. The mayor and other leaders gathered on the newly paved street today to celebrate the occasion. They say this project improved safety for vehicles and pedestrians, upgraded curb ramps and crosswalks, and repaired traffic signals. Leaders say this is so much more than fixing a road. It improves the quality of life for people living in Camden.
These are some of the things we have to do to become a 21st century model city, and improving the roadways and infrastructure that we're doing. And I'm just proud to say we're fixing, the city, and we're doing it together. It's a we thing.
The street is dedicated to Mike Rozier, the former NFL player and Heisman Trophy winner at Nebraska, who grew up nearby.
Well, for decades, the Gladwin Jewish Memorial Center, the cemetery in Lower Marion Township, it's been neglected. Many of the estimated 900 gravestones out there need to be restored before the names on them completely disappear. And now there are efforts underway to conserve the gravestones and preserve history. CBS News Philadelphia reporter Josh Sanders has more.
So when we clean a stone, we use the gentlest means. The main thing we're trying to remove is all the biological growth.
Joe Ferranini is washing away decades of wear and tear on the gravestones in the Har Hasidim Cemetery in Gladwin.
In this cemetery, we're over 150. I don't have an exact count now.
Farinini is a gravestone conservator.
The Hebrew contains so much more information. We're not restoring, we're conserving. We're saving it as is, trying to make it last forever. And some of these names, if they lay down the ground much longer, would be totally gone.
He visits the sacred ground twice a year in the spring and fall to uncover the names of an estimated 900 first-generation Jewish European immigrants. The cemetery was first founded in the 1890s, its last burial in 1945. And the decades that followed, the cemetery was abandoned before the Beth David Reform Congregation took ownership in 1999, along with the Friends of Gladwin Jewish Memorial Cemetery, which now fund the restoration.
The essence of the project really has been for about a dozen years. The graves are in terrible disrepair. They're old graves, mostly made of marble as opposed to granite.
Neil Sukanik says the cemetery represents the storied history of the first wave of European Jews who escaped persecution and began a new life in the Mill Creek Valley.
The ultimate and most important goal is to restore dignity to those who are interred here.
It's that dignity that Farinini hopes to give each name he uncovers. For some graves, it could take him anywhere from hours to days and a lot of tedious work.
You have to save the people as well, their memories, what they did, why they were here, the trials, tribulations.
Because with each gravestone he conserves, the memories of the past are given a sanctuary for future generations. Josh Sanders, CBS News, Philadelphia.
So to come here on CBS News Philadelphia at 4, money for the bridge collapse. The push for federal funding on that level, of course, to clean up after the key bridge collapse and get Baltimore's port back open.
Heart, hustle, home. CBS News Philadelphia. We know this community by heart. CBS News Philadelphia.
Welcome back, everyone. It's been 2 weeks now since the deadly collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore.
Today, a delegation from Maryland met with lawmakers on Capitol Hill, hoping they'll pass an aid package. Maryland Governor Wes Moore and leaders from the state's congressional delegation are calling on lawmakers to pass emergency funding. Upon its collapse, President Biden promised that the federal government would pay for the entire cost of reconstructing the Key Bridge.
The meeting today was very emblematic of the kind of support that the state of Maryland has had from the very beginning. Because about 2 weeks ago, a part of our soul fell into the Patapsco River, a part of our landscape, and a part of what makes Baltimore, Maryland so special.
Tragedy knows no partisanship. This wasn't a Republican tragedy, it wasn't a Democrat tragedy, and the solution won't be a partisan solution, it'll be a bipartisan solution.
Crews have begun removing shipping containers from the ship so it can eventually be moved, the ship that struck the bridge, of course. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers plans to fully reopen the channel leading to the Port of Baltimore by the end of May. So to come on CBS News Philadelphia at 4, doctors say early detection is key when it comes to breast cancer, but many women are not getting screened.
And a monumental life event during a once-in-a-lifetime event as well. We're going to introduce you to a little one here, a little baby born during yesterday's solar eclipse. We're back with you in just a bit.
Heart, hustle, home. CBS News Philadelphia. We know this community by heart. CBS News Philadelphia.
Welcome back, everyone. Social needs are standing in the way of breast cancer screening for many American women. That's according to the CDC. New research, it shows 1 in 4 women ages 50 to 74 are not up to date on their mammograms. The CDC found several reasons for this, including the cost for access to care and lack of transportation, even food insecurity, loss of work, and feeling socially isolated. The CDC says healthcare providers need to screen women for these needs.
And then connect them to community services. And if women are uninsured, CDC has a program in all 50 states through the health departments that will allow women to get a mammogram for free.
Well, while death rates from breast cancer have decreased, rates remain high for Black women and women with low incomes. Now, many took photos, of course, during yesterday's eclipse to celebrate the celestial event.
One couple in South Jersey wasn't staring at the sky with special glasses, though. Instead, they were somewhere entirely else, celebrating a special event of their own. Health reporter Stephanie Saul joins us to explain.
We have a special delivery to tell you about. Doctors say technically the sun and the moon have no impact on deliveries. Mother Nature, we know, has a mind of her own. But the timing was just right for one little girl. The sun is bright and unobscured again over Virtua Mount Holly Hospital a day after the eclipse and this special delivery.
This is Evelyn, and she's our little eclipse baby.
Sarah and Jeff Shue welcomed their first baby at 2:27 Monday afternoon, just as the eclipse was starting.
I never thought it would happen on that. I was like, what are the odds of it happening on the day of the eclipse?
It's such a big thing, right? It's just, this is something that doesn't happen, it doesn't happen every year.
The couple from Burlington County thinks the celestial activity may have helped move the delivery along. Evelyn was 2 days early.
Needed all the help I could get. I was just happy she was out and healthy and everything.
Little Evelyn, oblivious to her celebrity ways, 6 pounds 9 ounces and is 19 inches long.
We love her and we're glad she's here, even if it happened during the eclipse.
And they hope their little ray of sunshine will have a lifetime of good luck being born during an eclipse.
It's just one other thing that makes her a little special. Obviously she's the bright part of our lives now, but just knowing that she's extra special, I think is a nice little, cherry on top.
And they think it might even inspire her future with the distinction of being born when the moon blocked out part of the sun.
That's a cool stat for her to have, to say I was born on the eclipse, and maybe that might even trigger some, an interest in science and, maybe even a future astronaut.
A future astronaut. Well, there is one more coincidence. Today is the Shues' second wedding anniversary, the day after their special eclipse delivery. Lots for them to be celebrating.
Absolutely. Celestial
What a little
being.
cutie too, right?
Yes, yeah, very much so. All that hair. Thank you so much, Steph. Appreciate it.
All right, well, let's check in with Grant right now. Meteorologist Grant Gilmore with the next weather forecast. Grant, so today has been lovely, mid-70s or so. What, high 70s?
Yeah, but you know what this is, right?
What?
This is when he said he's going to. I'll save the bad news for 15 minutes from now.
Is this when you give us the bad news?
For everybody sticking around for the bad news,
no.
yes,
Come
it's time for the bad news. We'll talk good news first, though. We'll sweeten the deal, and then we'll get into talk about the rest of the week, and then we get into the weekend. First things first, though, very nice day today. Temperatures peaked at 79 degrees this afternoon. Warmest day of the year so far. In fact, warmest day since late October. So enjoy the evening out there. It's sunny, it's dry, the humidity is low. Everything is going our way for us out there right now. Temperatures, just to check around the area, Reading still at 78 degrees. We'll talk about the pollen in just a second. I want to talk a little more about these temperatures because these are nice. 69, well, I don't know why he keeps doing that. I guess we don't want to talk about the good news. We'll talk about the pollen, all right? Trees, grasses, weeds, and mold, all high or very high. I came out to my car this morning, I looked on it, and I could see all the tree pollen that's starting to land on the surface. And that means it's that time of year. The trees are saying, yep, it's time, and everything else is following suit too. So if you do have a little bit of an itch in your eye or a little bit of something in your throat, just feeling like you might be coming down with something, there's a good chance that it might be your allergies that are starting to act up. Let's talk cloud cover here. Over the last 3 hours or so, just a couple of high clouds streaming in across the region. Overall, it's been a very pleasant day. Here's the rain. There's not a lot of it, but light showers moving up through the Carolinas into Virginia and West Virginia. All of that out ahead of this cold front. Now, the main low pressure system is north of Wisconsin. It's in Canada. That will continue to track to the north, allowing more of this warmth to continue to move through. That cold front will actually not move through the area. We'll keep temperatures relatively mild as we head overnight tonight into the day tomorrow. We'll start with temperatures in the mid-50s, a small chance for a couple of spotty showers as we head throughout most of the day tomorrow. We might even get a couple of peaks of sunshine, but there'll be that continued chance for an isolated shower. Temperatures still right around 70 tomorrow afternoon. Let's jump ahead to Wednesday evening. Again, there's the frontal boundary. That, for the most part, will stay to the north. This is going to be our main weather maker as we go through the day on Thursday. It'll begin to bring a chance of rain building in from the west increasing chances of showers, even some thunderstorms as that cold front races to the east. We could see some heavy rain and gusty winds right along that line as the cold front moves through. We'll have to watch for the possibility of some stronger storms, but in terms of severe weather, it just doesn't look like we're going to see that. Most of the energy will be well west of us. We have a marginal risk in areas west that may see a small chance of some stronger storms, but the better chance of severe weather is back into the Ohio Valley and portions of West Virginia and Kentucky. By the time the system gets here, it is much weaker, but it will bring us some heavy rainfall, the potential of flooding, and maybe some gusty winds as well as we go into Friday afternoon. In the meantime, right around 53 degrees for you tonight, mostly cloudy skies. Showers, or at least the chance for some showers, arrives overnight tonight and really through the day tomorrow. We'll call it about a 30 to 40% chance for a couple of stray showers. Temperatures still peak around 70 degrees. So again, remaining mild through the next few days. Here's our rain day. Really, again, it's overnight Thursday into Friday morning. A couple of trailing showers through Friday afternoon. And that will usher in slightly cooler air to start off the weekend. Not a bad weekend. Certainly the second half looking really nice. Sunday highs near 70 next week, 72 on Monday with highs Tuesday still right around 70 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Siafa, back to you.
Not too bad, Grant. Thank you. Well, students at Loring Fleming Elementary School in Blackwood, New Jersey hosted Donuts with Dudes this morning.
The kids invited their father, grandfather, or another important man in their lives. They spent some time together while enjoying donuts and juice. The principal said they expected more than 600 people to attend today's event.
We want to build a relationship with our parents and you kind of humanize ourselves. So it's an opportunity for them to come to the school in a non-threatening way. There's no agenda. We have music going. We have selfie stations set up. So that way they can just come and have a good time.
All right, and there was also a fun area to take photos as well. I love this whole concept.
So do I. Donuts with Dudes. We should do that here.
Yeah.
That's news, or that's CBS News Philadelphia at 4. That is the news. I'm Siafa Lewis.
I'm Natasha Brown for all of us here. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it right here for more local news, sports, and weather. Take care.
Heart, hustle, home. CBS News Philadelphia. Uncovering the heart behind the headline. CBS News Philadelphia. We know this community by heart. CBS News Philadelphia. Heart, hustle, home.